So today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Journeys episode 96, Reach into Space, Ampharos' Light. In this episode we got the return of Sophocles and learned that he's been working towards his dream of becoming an astronaut while in Hoenn, with an Ampharos who's been having a bit of trouble. So getting right into it, the episode starts off with Ash and Go meeting Sophocles again at the Moss Deep Space Center in Hoenn, and he's with the Ampharos that we later learn belongs to his cousin Molayne, and Sophocles mentions that it's very clumsy, but is here to help him work on the project. After that, Ash asks him about the Alola crew, and Sophocles says that they're dying to see him again. He also mentions that Kiawe wants to battle him again, which I hope leads to a World Championship battle. After that, Sophocles asks us to see Raboot, and Go shows him Cinderace. Then they all head inside the Space Center, where we learn that Sophocles is working on the Talonflame 2 project alongside a researcher named Hirota. And I thought it was funny how Go was getting excited about working on one of the biggest projects of the century, while Ash was just thinking about how Talonflame are in space. So after Ash realizes that the Talonflame isn't actually in space, we get to see the space launch where the rocket took off, and we learn that they're going to use the light from Ampharos to get it back to Earth. So later on, as they're getting ready, Ampharos being clumsy leads to Togedemaru accidentally running into a machine that causes a malfunction that no one is aware of, until later on, which forces them to stop, causing Sophocles to be told to leave and come back later. So after Sophocles is forced to leave and feels upset, Ash and Go manage to cheer him up and he gets over it, but Ampharos, who's fallen into a slump, loses its light and ends up running away. And while searching for Ampharos, Sophocles says that he knew he wasn't the right person for the job, since Ampharos isn't even his Pokemon, since he borrowed it from Molayne because he wanted to take part in the space project, which is the only reason they invited him in the first place. He also says that despite wanting to make this successful, he became a nuisance. Then Ash cheers him up by saying that he always tries his hardest, and reminds Sophocles of his dream to become an astronaut, and says give it his full power till the very end. So then they decide to go after Ampharos, but notice Grookey is missing. So while searching for it, they end up finding Ampharos, and Sophocles talks to it and says that he trusts that if he doesn't give up, his dreams will come true, and asks Ampharos if he's willing to give it another try. And once Ampharos agrees, its light comes back on and they manage to attract Grookey and get him back. After that, they return to the Space Center where they get another chance, but something goes wrong with the ship due to an asteroid passing in space, but Sophocles comes up with a plan to get it back on course. So with the help of Pikachu, Go's Raichu, and everyone else involved, they manage to successfully land the beacon. And I really like the music they played when this happened, and seeing the Talonflame animation was pretty cool too. So the episode ends with Ash and Go rooting for Sophocles to become an astronaut, and him telling them to work towards their dreams. So this was a pretty good character development episode for Sophocles. I definitely wasn't expecting one in Pokemon Journeys since he was in Sun and Moon, the last series, but we got to see him work towards his dream of becoming an astronaut with Ampharos at his side. My favorite moment of the episode was probably when he was doubting himself and questioning if he could do it, but Ash came in and cheered him up by saying that he's someone who always tries his hardest, so he needs to keep doing that till the end. And I really like the inclusion of Ash and Go in this episode because they were able to help Sophocles out without getting in the way or interfering with his development at all. Some other things I really appreciated in this episode were the references to the Alola characters like Kukui and Molayne, and Kiawe. Also like how he said the Alola crew was dying to see Ash again, which I hope happens in a reunion with Lily and Gladion in a possible future arc. With that being said, I give this episode a 7 out of 10. Be sure to let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. And if you're new, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.